Welcome to the Building Doctor Show with Jens Johanson.
Okay. Welcome to the Building Doctor Show. I am your host, Jens Johanson. Glad to see you here to learn more about your buildings. All the parents out there are buying school supplies, backpacks, and getting organized to send the kids back to school. And in fact, we here at J2, we've got our big yellow pencil. We've got our lunch coolers. We've got our, stick around at the end. We're going to do probably an extra little giveaway, but we got some new school hats here. So we're getting organized to get back to school. It is now time in this episode to take your building back to school. And we're going to tell you everything you need to know to prepare for fall and beyond. And you'll have the chance to answer your questions to us free of charge. And as kind of a special thing for this back to school episode, we're going to be introducing a new segment called, we haven't quite figured that out, but we're calling it right now, Reading the Tea Leaves. Maybe checking the building doctor's crystal ball. This is going to be 4 to 6 times per year segment on specific trends we are seeing in the condominium market and why you should be aware of them and maybe, some possible things you can do about them. So it'll be separate from the Building Doctor Show, but if you follow us, you'll be able to find it. And whatever platform you're on right now, be sure to click and like and subscribe to stay in the know. But stay tuned for that. So we're going to do the Building Doctor Show. Then we're going to do Reading the Tea Leaves after it. So this one might just be a hair long, but it'll be a nice way to introduce it. So poll, we're looking at, we've got a poll. This poll helps us understand who you are and helps us tailor our answers to the show and helps, kind of us understand who's watching, and knowing our audience helps make the show better. So while that's running, please take that. And we can do a couple little disclaimers. This show is always free, so put away your credit card. We're not selling you anything. And this show is for educational purposes only. We are not giving you legal, financial, or engineering advice, and I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just some guy on the internet trying to help you run your buildings better. And I've helped thousands of people with their building problems, and I've seen what worked and what didn't when it comes to restoring and running condos. So I want to share that with you in the hopes that it benefits you. So what a better intro to back to school with doing a little DIY. So let's end the poll and let's share those results real quick. We've got Washington and Oregon represented. We've got managers, board members, homeowners, and curious people, and how you heard about it. And have you been through a repair project? 5 out of 5. All respondents have a big one. So we got some experienced people on the show and they know what is going on. Okay, so stick around for the live Q&A at the end. This is your chance to ask me live questions. You're going to enter those in the Q&A tab, and we'll get to as many answers as we can in the hour, and we'll add the rest to the next show. And if you have a more specific question, stay tuned for a link. You'll see a little link for a free 15-minute consult call with me, and that'll be your chance to do that. And as a matter of fact, we're going to have a little thing called, the school theme, teachers' office hours. Yeah, that'll be a link there. So feel free to talk to me and about any kind of question about your homework you're going to get here. So Ben, the producer, will be monitoring the chat and help us go through the Q&A panel at the end of the show. The chat is where he's going to be putting links to things and just, typing stuff up. So watch that. Your questions go in the Q&A. And school lunches. Again, school theme or the giveaway, school lunches. It's not going to be chef's surprise. It's not going to be anything nasty. It's actually going to be a big one. Normally we do, coffee and tchotchke and things like that, kind of $20 thing. We're giving away 5 DoorDash style lunches. The hope is that you get together with your board and kind of go through some of this information, maybe use it as a planning session. If you want to keep those 5 lunches to yourself, we're not going to tell anybody, but stay tuned for that. So we got a really good, valuable giveaway at the end there. So, all right, let's move on through it. Bring, there's the school bell. Time to get back into school. Okay, today's agenda. school themes here. We got the chalkboard, we got the pencils, rulers, books. There's no apple on the desk, thanks to Oppenheimer, making that one a little weird. I was like, yeah, we can do an apple. Anybody saw the Oppenheimer thing where he injects it with like sodium chloride? And anyway, okay. So we're going to talk about class schedules. We're going to talk about cram sessions. We're going to talk about emergency fire drills. We're going to talk about office hours. We're going to have a pop quiz in there somewhere and some class parties. And then at the end, we're going to do that going through the tea leaves section of some trends. So again, put your questions in the Q&A panel below and stick around for the giveaways. Let's go. Class schedules. Hey, schedules and syllabus. Syllabus is a big word there, but schedule is when, syllabus is agenda. So, okay, we're getting back into it. Time to shake off summer, time to shake off vacation, time to get our head back in the game a little bit from summer break. So what does classes and syllabus mean? So we're going to get together in a room and we're going to get back down to what we were talking about. So where were we last? Let's revisit what we were doing probably in May, because half of the board was gone in June, the other half gone in July. We just canceled August meeting because it was too hot out and there were forest fires and whatever. So we just decided not to meet. And then, well, now it's September. The end of this week is September. Labor Day, next week we'll get beyond that. Okay, where were we? We have a community to run. We have a project to run. So where are we going? Let's revisit what we're doing. Let's make a plan to get to the end of the year. Spoiler alert, there's 4 months left. December is full of holidays. November is half holiday. October is half holiday. You kind of got to limit. You kind of got to plan how we're going to get some of this stuff done. So let's get serious. Let's get our head down and get into this schedule. So now let's start looking at the agenda. Budget. Let's start with budget. What's going on for these, winter months here? Winter's coming. We've got 4 months left of our budget. And where is that thing? How are we doing? Are we tracking accordingly? Do we know where it's at? How much do we have left over? How much haven't we spent? And then are you a community that saves that surplus, or are you a community that says spend it if you got it, get it in there, spend it? A budget is not a restriction. A budget is authorization for you to spend it. And so it's a different kind of mindset. It's hey, we agreed. Everybody agreed in the association that we would spend this money on this particular topic. So let's get it going. And so anyway, look at what's left over. Look at where you can apply it. Maybe it's something to apply, snow removal. Maybe if we have some extra stuff, we can talk about maybe doing a few little things there or setting aside some money for that. Next thing to do is cleaning up from summer. Okay. It's long summer months. I don't want to do any repairs. I'm looking out and I see a fence that needs to be stained. I can see some leaves that need to be raked up. I can see some patio furniture that's it probably needs to be put away. Does it need to be pressure washed before it's put away? Probably. Hey, we still got those patio lights around the barbecue areas. Should we be thinking about winterizing the barbecue? Let's talk about touching up some things. Let's maybe talk about getting some volunteer parties together to clean up and put away and put away the summer stuff. Get the fall stuff out, stuff like that. It will be getting dark faster, so we're not going to be able to do anything after work. So this is going to be kind of weekend party time. We got September, maybe into October, but then it kind of gets nasty. The wind starts blowing. Make sure all your patio stuff is off the rooftop decks. Start thinking about that. Okay, meeting schedules. We're going to resume. We're going to get back on meeting schedule. When are we meeting? The third Thursday of every. So does that work for us? We kind of took the summer off. We're going to be back on that schedule. Do we have any pending board approvals that need to happen? Like we said earlier, half the board was gone in July, the other half was gone in August. Is the manager bugging us to get something signed? Is it time to get some things? There's a little bit of work we got to get done? Is it time to get some things signed? And we've had a pending proposal waiting. So for us, as a partner to boards, we actually see a spike in proposal signing in September. It gets real busy. I don't know if people were kind of, not getting around to it in July and August, and then wow, all of a sudden realizing they had to get back to it. But getting back into a routine, or the coming cram session, which we're going to talk about next. Bottom line, classes in session, headspace time to get going again. Let's sit down. Let's talk as a group. If you win that 5 lunches, sit down and start talking about it. So enough about schedule and syllabus. Let's get into cramming. Cramming is studying the night before the test, or in this case, waiting till the last minute of summer. Is it the best thing to do? No. Did we all do it? Yep. So what is cramming, and can we apply that to our building? It is not too late to get some things done. What projects need work prior to winter? Like I was saying, it was like, look, it's still dry. It's still kind of light out. Let's get some of that paint or that stain touched up. Let's get some pressure washing done. Really good time to do the roofs, or at least inspect the roofs, inspect the drains. Roof membranes and sealants are like skin. They burn in the sun, they crack and split. And so, it hasn't rained that much, but it's been hot. And so we maybe do a little cursory check around. Coatings kind of the same way. And then remember, in this cramming session, we can do coatings and roof membranes and things all the way through mid-October, even into November. We need 40 degrees and rising. And, we can put temporary protection over things in the form of plastic. And so you can still fit some things in. So think about, okay, we didn't get to this summer. What do we have to cram on? Might be a really good time for a visual inspection. Again, have us look at your roofs, your gutters, general items. We need to get through the winter, and then we'll do a big fix. What about kind of a temporary Band-Aid to get us through there? Then, it's not so much cramming sessions, but when we're planning on projects this fall, it's really nice to have some planning sessions. Let's start talking about projects for next year. This is really a good time to start having vendor meetings, start doing some design. It takes 8 to 12 weeks to get your design done. And guess what? That's 3 months. And so getting your design done, getting some loan approval moving along, and we'll talk more in the tea leaves section about loans. There's holiday breaks you kind of got to plan around. There's HOA votes maybe that are needed. So we need meeting notices sent out. How your bylaws read, 30 days, you got to send a meeting, whatever your bylaws say, but it's usually, we can't even have a vote for 60 days. So let's get that done. Let's get that vote happening here. Then we're ready to start construction for next year come February, March, and we're set because we've done some planning. This may be cram session topic, but it could be planning session topic too. So, okay, what's the next topic? Emergency drills. Here we go. What's the first thing? If you've ever been on a cruise, what's the first thing they do? It's called the lifeboat drill. Understanding where the lifeboat is. Where are the life jackets? It's the same with airplanes. You don't leave the runway, or you don't leave the airport until they've gone through their safety thing. Here's where the oxygen is. Here's the life jackets. Here's how to put on your seatbelt. So it's emergency drills, and it's understanding how and what we need to do for our building. And this is kind of part of this, and it's fire drills in school, right? Emergency drills. So during this back to school planning, it's great to run through it again. So here's what we're planning for. We're preparing for leaks and other emergencies. So what does that mean? Well, if the wind blows and I get a big branch through the roof, wouldn't it be nice to have a tarp? Or wouldn't it be nice to have some kind of thick roll of plastic, or maybe a couple of sheets of, 1/2-inch plywood or OSB? What happens if we get some more protests and we get a brick through the front door? If we had a piece of plywood there handy in the in the fire sprinkler room or wherever you got a little extra room for a few extra supplies, some plywood, some nails, some duct tape, maybe some cones or something to kind of block off an area just in case there's some kind of damage or leaks. I can tell you for sure, if you tried to buy ice melt the morning of the first snow, forget it. You can't even find it. So it's the same with snow shovels. Same with every time the wind blows, the tarps are sold out. So get those things together, tarp and rope and staple gun, basic stuff, plywood, cones, supplies. Who is the go-to person in your community? Every community has a contractor or a handyman, or maybe just somebody that's handy. They've got hammers and ladders and screwdrivers, and maybe make a call and just say, hey, would you be our emergency, not the emergency response guy, but can we call you if we get a rock through the window or a little bit of a wind blow off? And most of the time they'd be like, yeah, sure. But don't wait for the morning of, don't wait for the evening of. And so comments here, get as prepared as you want to get. You can go to, the FEMA website. We just saw the catastrophe of these fires, especially in Maui, of wow, what would a little extra water around do, or a little extra, food. I'm not saying you need to be the place that helps everybody, but just think about it for a second. Maybe a first aid kit, obviously a fire extinguisher. Do you want to get those, chest thumper things? What do you call them? The thing on the wall, do you want to get trained in that? Does the board want to take some safety training? So that's preparing for emergencies. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is your mechanical and furnace and electrical and things like that. HVAC checkups for maintenance, HVAC, heating, venting, air conditioning. The furnace has been turned off all summer. The air conditioner and the heat pump has been working all summer. And so, again, if you've had a lot of forest fire smoke or dust, let's change those filters. Let's get this serviced. Again, let's not wait for it to break in the middle of the night on a freeze, and then I can't get a technician out there because the roads are too icy. And so it's just kind of thinking about it. Let's do some checkups and maintenance. Sometimes the furnace flues get bird nests in them because there's nothing, the furnace is off. So the birds build a nest in there. And the second the hot air turns on, it can start a fire. And so you'll want to get that figured out. Next thing, freeze control. So that's a couple months off, but let's start talking about our exterior hose bibs. Do we have those frost-free hose bibs, or do we got to get those styrofoam? We call them hose bib boobs. The things you get at Ace that you cover the thing and they got a little strap in it, but they keep the hose bib from freezing. And so we want those. Your sprinklers, both your fire and your landscaping, have those been drained? Do they need to be drained and bled or air bleed, whatever? Do you need to have a vendor come out and do that stuff to start thinking, freezing weather could be as soon as October. It just depends on where you're at. So we're 4 weeks from that, right? Okay. So snow and ice, we talked about that, trying to buy a snow shovel and ice melt the day of snowstorm, forget about it. So where is the snow shovel? Last time we used it, there was a snowy day and it got put in the closet and I don't know where it is. How's that snow melt or the salt, those things you buy? You can get it now, probably on sale, Labor Day sales, but I guarantee you won't get it the first day it snows. So do we have an extra jug of that? Can we make it for like 3 days and we can go get resupplied? Do you have a snow removal sub? So somebody that's going to come plow the parking lot and street access. Maybe agree on a cost now. If you're trying to negotiate that cost on day of snow, forget about it. It'll be triple. And so maybe get something in place. Hey, we want you to do it. We're going to call you. What's the price? Great. We'll agree on a price. Let's get that done. So we want it agreed now so we don't get storm gouged. So what about walk-off mats? It's raining or icy or snowy and we're stomping and trying to get that junk off our shoes, but we walk into the slippery lobby. You don't need them so much in the summer, but make sure you got those rubber mats or walk-off carpets in the entries, especially if you got slick floors. Another thing to think about is security lighting. Hey, in the summer, it's light till 9:30. And so now as it starts getting darker sooner, the garage is going to be darker. Hey, there were some light bulbs that burned out this summer. We haven't replaced them yet. We got to remember to check those auto timers. It's like in the spring, it's like, why are the lights coming on at 4:30? It's light out till 7. Oh, that's right. Wintertime, 4:30. I got to reset that. So you got to do the same thing coming back now. So the stairs are lit, the pathways are lit, everything is working well. So mechanical checkups, freeze control, snow and ice, way to deal with them, security lighting, auto timers, just kind of stuff like that. Think about emergency preparedness. Okay, next one, office hours. Hey, so teacher office hours. You want to do some of this yourself? We got study guides for you. We got a fall maintenance guide. We got a condo annual plan, 12 months of life in the building. We kind of talk through what you should do each month. This fall maintenance guide, we put it together for you. It's a thing you can just carry around with you and walk around your building and look. Ben's going to put that into the chat, and so everybody can get a link of that. And then go to our YouTube, go to our website, you'll find that on our resource page, and of course go to YouTube. We got over 300 videos out there. So at any social platform, J2 Consultants, J2 Building Consultants, and you'll see what we got. And as I mentioned earlier, teacher office hours. Use this link, learn.j2consultants.com/consultant on call. Use that link. It's a free 15-minute phone call. You can auto schedule it just like you schedule your dentist now. You can find a time on my calendar and we can just chat for 15 minutes saying, hey, what do I need to do about this to get this ready for winter and fall? So set that up for you. Okay, you ready? Pop quiz. Okay. What is your emergency list? What is on your emergency list? Where is your emergency list? So what do I mean by that? How do I get a hold of my manager? How do I get a hold of dry out vendors or a roofer at 2 a.m.? How do I get a hold of my community and neighbors in a fast way to email them out, to text them, hey, it's 5 a.m. You see the snow. We're getting it plowed. The plow should be here at 10 a.m. Hang tight. How do they get a hold of the board? Are you putting out enough stuff to say, here are your board members. Here's our emergency plan. Here's what we're going to do in the case when the power gets shut off, when the windstorm happens, if there's a fire and we need to evacuate. And so just kind of, how do I communicate? Unfortunately, so many boards we work with go, I don't know, that thing's so out of date, I haven't seen it. Now is a great time to get that updated. Updated contact information is valuable anytime. So work your way through that. Okay, next, do I know where the power shut off or the water and gas shutoffs are? If there's a gas leak, do I know how to shut it off? Gas has a gas key. It's usually like a 3-foot T. That's kind of a wrench. Same kind of thing for your water. The power is where is the main electrical panel? Can I turn off buildings? Can I turn off elevators? Where is this stuff and where is it? Where is the key to the elevator room? Where is the key to the mechanical room? Are they labeled? Who has them? That type of stuff. Another pop quiz. How much money do I have left in the budget? Because, hey, Jens is talking about some, going to Ace and buying some de-icer. Do I have money to do that? Do I have money to make some more key copies? So should we set aside some money for snow removal? I don't know. Get out the Farmer's Almanac, get out your crystal ball, see if it's going to snow this year, or just double check your budget and say, do I have that already in my budget? And I'm cool. So do we have emergency supplies in the storeroom? And I'm not talking about getting too deep, but I'm just saying, do we have a good roll of thick, visqueen plastic, or maybe a couple of blue tarps Do we have some staple gun? Do we have a couple, sheets of plywood and maybe some nails or screws to screw them on? Do we have somebody in the community that could help us, that has agreed to help us? Vandalism, break-ins, you can kind of go, a couple pieces of plywood now and then helps a lot until you can call the insurance company, come morning, they can send out their repair guys, that type of thing. So do you want to go as far as first aid or emergency FEMA supplies? That's up to you and the board. Just if I get trapped in a snowstorm and I have to stay here overnight, for you, that's your unit. I can make it to the unit. If you have more of a commercial business, if the elevator breaks and I'm kind of stranded in my building or I'm stranded in the garage, how am I just kind of think through that a little bit. And maybe your clubhouse is a point of, an evacuation. What do you call it? Evacuation assembly area. Sometimes you'll see that in buildings where it's a sign that says, assembly area. And so what do you got going on there? You got extra flashlights, some batteries, things like that. So first aid, enough of the quizzes for you. Okay. All right. Now the fun part, class parties. Here's where we get together as a class and party. So Labor Day weekend is coming up. Everybody's going to be gone, but any weekend in September, we're always looking for one more party, September or even October. Let's send off the summer season with a party. Let's get together. Let's host some events. Maybe, it's as simple as an ice cream social. A gallon of ice cream and a couple of squirt tubes of caramel and chocolate go a long way. A hot dog barbecue. I've said in previous things, I did 175 hot dogs and it was like $150. So again, go back to your budget. It doesn't have to be fancy, but people will come down, especially if there's something for the kids to do here. The kids can have a hot dog and color. Maybe it's a pool party. Maybe it's a garage sale. Maybe it's, if you want to get crazy, taco truck, roll that into the parking lot. But have an event. Organize a gathering for your community to discuss these maintenance plans and upcoming projects. Maybe talk about fall decorations. Halloween's not that far away. What are we as a community going to do for Halloween? How about the holidays? Are we going to set up lights? Are we going to have rules and restrictions about what you can do? Or are we going to let everybody have a free for all? Are we going to have a party and a voting contest and give an award? Just in general, get ready for fall. Talk about your emergency plan. Say, look, folks, we've gone through this. We know where the emergency shutoffs are. We've got a few extra supplies. We're ready. That's reassuring that you're, to the community, that your managing group has an emergency plan. Great time to ask for board volunteers. Let's get the subcommittees to meet again. Hey, remember the landscaping committee? You haven't met for a while. We'd love to see you meet again. You've just you as a board have gone through this reawakening because you're going back to school watching this webinar. Now let's help the community time to wake back up and help the subcommittees kind of wake back up. So use this opportunity to brainstorm ideas, gather input from residents in a casual environment. It's a town hall. There's no votes. It's just come have some ice cream. We're going to have some announcements and discussions and talk about some stuff. Pretty simple. If anything, it's time to update that contact list. Welcome the new neighbors. These people moved in the summer, units 5, 7, and 12. Let's welcome them. Great. Make sure they get their email and text phone numbers down so that we can contact them. Okay. All right. Need an inspection. Use that little QR scan. Does any of this sound good? Maybe you need a roof inspection. Set up a 15-minute call with me to get some specific advice to your building. We're going to see if we're the right fit and see if you even need us. We're going to say, call a roofer. They can do that for you. You don't need a consultant. But if you want to bounce ideas off, again, it's kind of like that office hours. Call me. So we are rocketing through this. Back to school. We wanted to make it fun. We wanted to have some themes. Now let's jump into the Q&A. So that is Q&A portion. I'm seeing 16 things in the chat. I don't see anything in the Q&As. Let's get going for the Q&As. We will also have the giveaways. Then we'll get into that special segment, reading the tea leaves, which you want to stick around for. So I am seeing, oh yeah. Well, I'm just reading the chat. Craig says we have First Friday events throughout the year. These are great topics to add to general communication. Yeah, ice cream. So yeah, we've got some stuff here in process of replacing a fire alarm panel. You bet. Yep. That's all that stuff. If you've got Q&A, get them into the chat. I'm not seeing any Q&A. Oh, we've got one. Okay, there we go. Anonymous says, and that's just so you know, you can say anonymous. If you'll say your name, I'll say your first name, give you a shout out. So what happens if I'm the only one on my board who wants to implement any of this stuff? I hear you. I hear you. You'll get the replay. Send this replay to them and say, will you please watch this? Is this making any sense to you? Can we do any of this? Just keep trying. Keep trying. Your job is to keep pushing for this. I think, a lot of these things have a few extra supplies on hand. That doesn't take a big board decision. Getting back on a pace of meetings, that doesn't take a big, 5 people to decide. It just needs one, whether it's a firebrand or whether it's just a person watching the calendar saying, hey, next board meeting is the 3rd Tuesday. Here you go. Boom. It's going to be held at the clubhouse or online. Here's a Zoom link. One person can do that. And so you will get momentum with your action. So I just encourage you not to give up, not to despair. Once people see something happening, they want to be a part of it. So, okay. Do most boards have money in their budget for the parties you suggest? In my experience, no. But how much does it cost? A gallon of ice cream. I'm not talking the half gallon that's overpriced. A gallon of cheap ice cream from Winco or Walmart, vanilla, and a couple of those things is like $15, is $20. Most board members kind of look the other way and just buy it because they know they'll get people coming in. So if it's not in your budget, add it if you want. Next year, we're going to have an official hot dog barbecue and I want $250 in the budget. The budget is yours annually to put whatever you want into it. And these social gatherings, I'd say are worth some money. But don't, another one that works really well, get a competition going. We're going to have a crock pot voting chili cook-off contest, and bring your crock pot down, and it's going to be potluck style. So everybody brings something or do a cookie contest. Somebody in your association may like to bake. They want to bake 3 dozen homemade cookies. Again, these are kind of free. And so you don't need a whole ton of money to do it. I love the boards that we're going to do a $300 party every quarter. Here's $1,200 line item for parties. Okay. So there's confetti cannons, there's balloons, there's all sorts of things. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Any other questions? Ding, ding, ding. We're going to head into the giveaway. If not, so I know that was fast. Oh, we've got Phil. Here you go. The manager keeps putting off the flat roof inspection to do repairs, clears junk off to prevent getting pressed into roof making leaks. The manager keeps putting off flat roof inspection to do repairs. Well, I guess you just got to talk to them and say, why are you continuing to put this off? We need it done. There's money in the budget, or, if there's not money in the budget, it's hard to hire somebody to do that. But what does it take? We can get some, those caulk guns of roofing patch, or the, there's all sorts of things. Call me on that 15-minute free line and I'll give you some stuff you can buy at Home Depot. And you can patch these things at least as a Band-Aid to get you through it. So climbing up on your roof with a bucket to get it done if the manager can't do it. If the manager's putting things off and not doing what they need to do, find another manager. But there's probably a reason, but keep the gutters clean. That sounds like that's happening. So thank you for your question. Okay. Where are we at here? Let's see. We're going to we're going to start wrapping it up. Let's see. Okay. Any more? No more questions. We are going to move into the giveaways. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let me get some boxes off my screen. Q&A, we already did that one. Giveaways, there we go. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, how we do the giveaways is we see there is 14 people on the call, 186 people registered, by the way, so they're getting that replay. It's exciting to see this grow, but for the 14 people that attend today, they get a chance at winning the giveaway. So well, I've got 5 DoorDash style lunches, and I am going to pick let's see. And Ben sees how you're signed up. And so the numbers. School. Trying to tie it to something school. I'm just going to say number 12. Number 12 wins the lunches. But wait, I've got some school clothes here for you. We've got the new J2 trucker hat, mesh back, snap back. I've got the nice flex fit J2 hat. There you go. I've got one hat for number 4. I've got another hat for lucky 13. So Ben is keeping track of that. 4 and 13 get hats, and number 12 gets the lunches. So thanks for staying tuned. This is episode 18. That means it's been going for 18 months, year and a half. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you all. We've got the best audience around. So, all right, shifting gears. This news segment. We got the news segment called, well, you know what? Type into the chat what you think we should call this. Reading the tea leaves, or the building doctor's crystal ball, or whatever you want. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about issues and trends that we're seeing right now. And maybe you'll get some more inspiration after you hear about it. But this is, there's enough of this going on that we said, we got to talk about this stuff. And kind of a significant one right now is we have 6 projects with no board. And the board either all said, I'm done. I've had it. They've had enough. They all, resigned. Excuse me. Maybe it was a coup took place. We're seeing the coups a lot of the new group votes the old group out, and the new group changes direction 180 degrees. And it's like, whoa, we're whipping back and forth. And so, or worse, you've got one board member left of 5, so you don't have a quorum. And so we've got 6 projects right now with no board to make any decision. So the manager's like, great, yeah, I got the proposal you sent over, but I don't have anybody to sign it. And so kind of dovetailing into that no board or no person to lead it, I've got 3, 4 of no managers. We have boards without managers. We've had managers moving around, managers leaving the industry. So we don't have good managers leading good boards. So we've got, boards that want managers that, hi, I'm self-managed all of a sudden. And so we're seeing this across the industry stuff, and it's like, why? Okay. We're seeing angry groups. We're seeing this keyboard warrior anger, really just a lot of angry groups. We're seeing more filibustering, meaning delay. You can just tell it's a fake delay. It's filibustering from members. We're seeing more lawsuits, whether it's board on board or board members or HOA members or HOA v board or board v manager. We're seeing just all sorts of suits. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but really the question becomes, and what can you do about it, is how do you maintain or rebuild a healthy, happy association again? And so, how do I get my group to stop being just so ridiculously angry and filibustery and playing games? I guess it's communicating with them better. It's trying some of these tips and tricks we're doing. Have I had enough town halls? Have I had enough community meetings? This is one of the main reasons we're offering board education, because if we don't have a board, we can't do a job with you. And so it's an interesting time. No board to make decision, or not enough board to even have quorum. And so that's one thing. Second tea leaf or thing we're seeing, and there's 5 of them. So second thing we're seeing, insurance rates, insurance coverage. This is a big deal. We're seeing insurance canceling across the board. And I'll break that down. But we're seeing insurance rates 5xing. And so not 10%, 500%. And here's where we're seeing it. Waterfront properties. I don't know if it's the tide is rising or something, but I guess the last year we had the highest amount of storm-related damage in the insurance industry ever. And so I can see the insurance companies just going, if it's waterfront, forget about it. We've had 4 or 5 properties just get, my insurance 10x'd, my insurance, 3x'd. So waterfront property is a big one. Old properties, insurance companies, I don't even want to insure your property anymore. I know I've insured it for years. I don't want to insure it anymore. We're just, maybe they're not coming out and telling you, but they're saying the deferred maintenance you guys are pushing on these buildings, there's going to be problems. It's only going to get more expensive. I can't charge you enough. And so old properties, deferred maintenance properties, they can walk the site. They often do. They often ask us to give them an insurance report. Deferred maintenance. Is there any deferred maintenance happening? They can read your minute meetings. Keep kicking that can down the path, you're not going to have insurance anymore. They will send out their inspector if you haven't had an inspection done in a while. So these annual inspections or these visual inspections that you're hiring us to do can serve as, your insurance company will call at renewal time. Have you had your building inspected? Yeah, here's the latest report. We got a few things. We got a plan together. We're going to fix them. We got a maintenance plan. We got, a funding plan. And so the insurance company then says, okay, cool. Normal insurance premium rate hikes, but canceling altogether or doubling or tripling, that's another big thing. So what can you do? You can't obviously take your building off the waterfront, but you can get to work on your building. You can make it so you can update the maintenance. You can do the maintenance. You can start using this as hey guys, we're not going to have insurance coverage if we don't get these things done, because it's real. It's not onesie twosie. It's this happened to, I could say 10, a dozen of just stop. We don't have insurance anymore. We were just dropped. It's like, whoa, really? I've seen pricing go up, but I haven't seen drop out of the blue. So number 3, the HOA versus the condo. And here's what I'm talking about. Where it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but it's not a duck. So I've got a 8-pack or a 7-pack of units. They share walls. They're town homes, but no, we're not a condo. We're a homeowners association. We're single family home under the building code's eyes. It can also be, I've got some big ones. I've got some 45 units that are, we're actually individual. And so 35 of us want to do what you're talking about, but the other 10 don't. Got a couple of more in another state where we've 100 some units and all of us are having the same problems. But in my 6-pack unit, I'm the middle unit and I'm the only one that wants to do anything about the problem. It's like, oh, wow, the whole building is leaking. What do you mean you want to fix this sliver? All your teeth are rotten. You want to replace the one tooth. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Single family homes with shared walls and townhomes. So what are their problems? They don't have continuity. They don't speak with one voice being managed by one board. They speak as individuals, meaning 5 out of 8 of them want to participate, or 35 out of 45 want to participate and do something. Or I'm the only one that wants to do something. And so how do we get this done as one townhome? And so why does that happen? Well, we've got building code changes. So these look like homes, but they're not. They're multifamily properties, shared walls, shared roofs. But we've got terrible governing documents. They're either bad, they're bad rules. They're just fundamentally flawed and wrong. They're written goofy and just adopted and never looked at again until there's this problem and go, oh, these rules suck. Or there are no rules. It's great Wild West. Hey, if it's not a rule, you can't tell me what to do. So then you get number 3, you get more internal lawsuits. So again, back to that first question, you can't make me. You can't make me participate in the 35 out of 45. I refuse to participate in this process that you're trying to fix the buildings because you can't make me. It's bad rules. It's participation. We've got an association right now with a residential, a commercial, and the commercial owns egress rights or easement rights to the roof above the residential. So they've put a cell tower up there. So the guys can walk over to the cell tower and the cell towers can be there. But what is the cellular company and what are the people walking on that roof servicing the cellular company? What do they have to do for the roof of the residential area underneath it? Well, nothing. It's not in the rules. Nobody ever thought about that. So now we have both sides of attorneys saying, wait a second, you're damaging the roof. You have easement to get there, but you don't have rights to damage it, or your little patchy job to fix a hole isn't appropriate because we never thought about this. We never did this rule. So next thing, it's in these internal lawsuits. I just didn't know. I'm one of 45 units. I had no clue. Nobody told me. The communication around here sucks. I did not know we were in the middle of this thing. I didn't know I could participate. I didn't know I could drop out and not participate. I just didn't know. And so then you get everybody doing their own thing. So we have the no rules Wild West. Since there's no rules on this, I can do what I want. Go away. Leave me alone. Or no, we should all act together and all be good about it. And we should all act as if there's good rules. Well, you just know so we're seeing all sorts of disclosures. We're seeing suits between buyers and sellers because there wasn't a manager writing a resale certificate or putting out announcements or communication, or there wasn't a board doing that because, well, technically we don't have to. Technically we're kind of on our own. Technically, you can't tell me what I can and can't do or what I have to do. I don't have to listen to you. So then you get just all these. So the question, think about the repair scenario and ask your HOA attorney or manager, what would happen if? So back to that cell tower. What happens if we have to replace the roof and the cell tower has all these lines and cables and all that stuff across the roof? How do we do that? Or what happens if we do have common element issues that we don't have rules for, but we're just Wild Westing it and letting everybody decide what kind of siding they want to put back on their building, or it just kind of gets really crazy really fast. So in these board meetings, kind of add that to your agenda and say, where are we on this? Are we speaking with continuity? Do we have a good set of rules that are clean? Do those rules need to be modified? Do we kind of live in a Wild West and that's okay? I mean, might be. And then are we putting out the proper announcements so that buyer and seller, I got a call 2 days ago. I just bought my unit. I had no idea there was some pending litigation until I went down to the mailbox and talked to my neighbor. Hi, I'm the new neighbor. Oh, did you hear about the assessment we're having? No. What do you mean? And so here comes a big assessment to this new buyer. So you can see there's lawsuits flying around. So, okay, number 4, banks. Lots of mergers between regional reasonable banks. Lots of mergers between regional banks right now, and that may affect lending. And because there's mergers, they'll affect jobs. So we've got staff that are moving around. They're getting laid off, or they're just quitting because now's a tougher lending environment and mortgage rates and stuff like that. So the bank that you thought you could get your, funding from may be in talks of merging with somebody else. So the question that you need to focus on is, if you have a loan pending, make sure you're staying on top of it and talk to your banker about it and just say, hey, is ABC Bank up for sale? Is there any talks in-house so they're getting, because we're seeing, especially when we serve in 3 states and beyond, we're seeing, oh yeah, go talk to us. Oh, they're no longer that company anymore. So banking issue. I'm not trying to get into the banking crisis and all this stuff, but just banks are moving around and merging and changing names. So double check that. 5th thing, more sophisticated boards. And I was going to say maybe younger, but it's not true. Just more sophisticated boards. Here's what I mean by this. 1, they're using technology way more. And so instead of going to the town, on Saturday for an industry-wide event, you're watching this webinar and you're not even watching it at 3:30 on Tuesday. You're going to binge watch your webinars on Sunday afternoon at double speed just to kind of stay on top of this stuff. And so you no longer have to go to something. You can just sign up on a list and watch your webinars, using technology more, using technology to inspect their buildings, using technology to stay on it. Yeah, everybody has a good app now. If your property manager doesn't have a good app, you might want to find another one. So you can always see what your numbers are and your payment plan or your, whatever. Number 2, AI and Google to review what we're saying. So we're presenting in board meetings and one of the board members is typing away. And then at the end of that can kind of talks to the rest of the board. I chat GPT'd everything he's talking about. It's correct. He's not overdoing things. I've, used AI to get a second opinion. And so it's like, wow, we're getting a second opinion right in the meeting, Number 3, hey, there's folks downloading our resources, becoming better educated. It's all you guys watching this thing and asking questions. And I will get to questions after this. And I see a couple more in there. Number 3, they are also tired of, we've always done it that way, reason or excuse. Well, we've always done it that way. We've done it this way for 20 years. They're like, what do the governing documents say? What do the bylaws say? Because that's dumb and we disagree. And we're going to start looking at this stuff and changing it a little bit. And so, and you can, these are your rules, vote on them, change them. So actually, in the next thing, they're paying more attention. They're communicating better because, Zoom, we can attend the meeting while at our kids' volleyball game with my headset in, instead of I have to make a choice between being at 2 places at the same time. Or I can look this stuff up when I'm thinking about it. I can cross-reference it. They're paying more attention and communication is better. Number 3, they are generally mad at low reserves and poor planning from past boards. And so this gets into that. I'm angry. I got on this board to do something about it. I'm sick and tired of being underfunded for the past 20 years. Nobody has been contributing, or past generations haven't been contributing to the roof that needs to be fixed. And I'm saddled with all of a sudden out of the blue because, we didn't save enough for it. Well, that's baloney. And so why should I have to carry this whole roof assessment? So they're generally mad at poor planning from past boards. So what is the question, or what can you do about it? You can embrace each one of these things and make plans to discuss it. You can embrace technology more. You can embrace, hey, we've always done it that way. Excuse. Well, why? Get to the bottom of it. Why have we done it that way? Again, talking about it. And then we shouldn't have bad reserves. We shouldn't have low reserves. We should have an accurate reserve study. I know it costs money. It costs money to live anywhere. A little bit extra can alleviate these problems. So this reading the tea leaves, I'm compelled enough to share these issues and say, guys, be aware. This is more than just a onesie twosie. We've got 6 projects with no boards. We've got insurance rates doubling and tripling. We've got lawsuits happening left and right due to bad rules and funny, little bad communication and just weird things like that. We have banks. Banks are, banks, I don't know if they're failing, but they're certainly buying and selling. Then we got more sophisticated boards that are paying attention to this stuff. So that's our 5 things. We got a couple extra Q&As in there. Okay. Anonymous asks, for the people with board coups and filibustering, what could a single board member do to start putting things back together and get on the right track? Whew, good question. So board coups and well, not all board coups, but filibustering or any kind of anxiety around a decision. I've seen it. I've been in just countless meetings as a presenter. Hey, okay, everybody. J2 is going to present on what's wrong with our building, and then we need a vote. And I just see people dig their heels in and go, I'm not voting for anything. This hasn't marinated for a while. This hasn't soaked in. I haven't had a chance to ask questions. So if I'm concerned or confused or scared, I'm going to say no. And so again, on the filibustering side, I'm gonna pause. We need to study this more. We need to get a second opinion or 15th opinion, that kind of thing. And so that's what filibustering is. They haven't understood it. They don't understand what's on the table. People can handle bad news as long as they fully understand it. So, again, in past episodes, break your decisions into 3 meetings. I can't make all of them, but I can kind of get a snippet. Put some flyers out. Put the meeting minutes out. Put decision matrix kind of letters out. Here's what we've gone through. Here's what we're thinking about. Here's what we're doing. Here's how we're handling these questions. So for the people with board coups are tough. Sometimes you get some crazy egos in the building and they battle. So I'm not saying the people in position are right and the people out of position are not, but does it really have to come to a violent revolt? A lot of that has to do with again, with communication, being heard. I'm trying to get my point across, that kind of thing. So single board member, keep talking about it, communicate. Your officer is CRO, Chief Repeating Officer. You're going to repeat this stuff till people roll their eyes and say, I've heard it 14 times. Good. It's sinking in. So it's pouring down rain outside. It's back to school. It's end of August, pouring down rain. You can hear it. So this is why I'm saying that tarp, that inspection plan, that getting together and talking about this stuff is so prudent. So anyway, one more question. Jody asks, someday soon, could we have a program devoted to installing EV charging stations in our parking lot and or installing solar panels on the roof? Could we have a program? Could we have an episode of the Building Doctor Show? That is a great idea. Because we're getting a lot of that. And the questions are, how much power do these draw? How much excess load does my building currently have? Do I have room to add 10 of these? What are the solar incentives looking like? Do I own the roof? Can I put some screw holes in it and bracket? We'd obviously help you with the waterproofing to make sure it didn't leak, but what area of the roof is it going to go on? Are those going to be visible to an upper level unit looking down and getting blasted with reflection? So lots of little things to think about there. But yeah, that's a great idea. So if you have other suggestions, put them in for episodes, put them in the chat, put them in the Q&A. That's fine. And we'll try to work that into the rotation. Okay. Any other questions on kind of reading the tea leaves? And did we get some chat items on what to put in there, what to call it? So insurance rates would be a great topic. Yeah, ours are going through the roof. So that insurance thing, Rates going through the roof. Rates are normally 5 to 10%. Going through the roof implies they're going through the roof. So, okay, thank you for those. Any other Q&As? Do you like this kind of reading the tea leaves and kind of getting some of that stuff? If you do, give us a thumbs up or a chat. Yes. And we'll make this into its own little episode and special thing. So, all right, that wraps it up, folks. Thank you so much. Again, please use our links for that free call, and we will see you next month. Thank you very much for watching.